Ready to go!
Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome yet again to another training session we're doing here in isolation. Today it's going to be a session all about determining how strong my hand and wrist can be. It's going to be a strict starting thing. Again, inspired by none other than Krasimir Kostadinov. The advice he gave to me when I was at the Zloty pertains very much to what we're going to be doing today. It's going to be a good session, can't wait. Let's get it underway. Alrighty guys, the rules for today's training, what we're working with is we have the 2.5 inch rolling handle, okay, really free spinning rolling handle. This one made by Adam Stefanik, ball bearings in there, very, very nice piece of equipment, heavy duty stuff. We're going to have it again positioned, I need to come my way slightly, but that's okay because we will have it center position in the table so you can establish a strict ready go position. This is all about being strict in the ready go position. We want us to be exactly where you'd be in a match. So I need to bring this handle back about 1/2 inch so that I'm center, because at the moment I'm a little bit my opponent's side of center. But anyway, we will adjust that shortly. What it's going to be is must be strict wrist starting nice and flat. Shoulders must be square, and then it's just going to be, can you move it? Doesn't matter if it's press, doesn't matter if it's drag, hook, doesn't matter if it's straight back. The objective is just going to be to move this thing from the absolute strict start. We're going to be happiest if we can get our wrist actually bent. Okay, if we're just dragging, not happy. We want to get our wrist bent, but I know as the weight gets heavier, it's going to get to the point where we can't bend our wrist anymore, but we can still potentially move it. Okay, that still counts as a success because ultimately, if you win a match like that, you still win a match. The main thing today is we are just going to see what weight we can handle with a pure strict start. Okay, where it's really threatening the top of your fingers. And the question is, can you move it still? All right, let's do a warm up and get this underway. Alright, for this one we're going to do a bit of a shoulder warm up. I've been doing a lot of push-ups lately. By lately I mean I started yesterday doing sets of 50 push-ups every 2 hours for the waking day, and it's really making me tender through the shoulders. So a bit of a Martin Lisi's shoulder warm up here before I get underway, and I might do some push-ups as well. But whatever you feel you need to do to warm up, get it warm, and that'll be good to go. All right, let's do some push-ups. Alrighty, arm wrestlers push-ups. I'm trying to work on my wrist range of movement, and it's historically been pretty bad, so most arm wrestlers do it on the knuckles, but I'm working hard to try to get this going. Oh. Yeah, this definitely feels it in the shoulder. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Alright, that's all I need to do. Time to get back on the table and start the workout. Alrighty guys, we're going to start here with 30 kilos. I've adjusted the center position of the handle, so we are now nicely aligned. 30 kilos, wrist is going to be straight. Now I haven't yet determined where I'm going to put my thumb, under or over. I think I'm going to be stronger with my thumb over, but in these early reps, I'm probably going to start with my thumb under. Don't move, ready, go. Alright, 30 kilos done, let's go up. Alright, we got 40 kilos loaded on there, same story, still with the thumb underneath at the moment. Shoulders square, center position, don't move, ready, go. Getting harder. Alright, we're at 45 kilos now. It's approaching the level where I'm thinking I'm going to have my thumb over as opposed to under. I'm going to try with it under again, see if we can still bend the wrist. Let's see what happens. Alright, here we go. Alright, slowing down, but we're still getting there. Alrighty, we are at 50 kilos now. 45 was slow, but I still had the thumb underneath. It was still good. 50 kilos, this could be the moment where I have to change. So here we go, 50 kilos. Okay, so you can see what happened there. I moved it, but I couldn't bend my wrist. Okay, so that was a critical moment. I'm gonna do this again. I wanna see what happens if I put my thumb over the top now. Still a strict start, still ready to go position. Just wanna see if I can bend my wrist with my thumb over compared to thumb under. And there you have it. I could bend my wrist with my thumb over. So different training values there. Thumb under is definitely not as strong in the flexion sense. Thumb over is stronger. So 50 kilos is that moment where we've had to make the switch, but we're gonna keep going now with thumb on top for the rest of them. All right, we are at 55 kilos now. The thumb is over. Still doing the strict start. See if we can bend this wrist and move this weight. Nice. You can see it's slowing down a lot, but we're still getting the wrist bent. That's the most important thing today. It's not so much about side pressure, back pressure, or anything. It's just, can we bend the wrist? This is a wrist session. Whew. Alrighty, we are at 60 kilos now. Wrist flexion 1 rep maxing here. This is interesting. Thumb under, we know we stopped at 50. We're up to 60 now for the thumb over. Still starting from the strict start, shoulder square position. Very interesting stuff. All right, here we go. 60 kilos. All right, first failure. We found a moment with the first failure. Interesting points. Guys, I know that I could drag this and then use the inertia of this movement to kind of set forward. We want to avoid doing that. We don't want to start with a drag and then literally try to jump forward. Let me see if I can demonstrate what I'm talking about here. So if I was to, my left is not even going to talk to me about this weight, 60 kilos. Anyway, let's give it 2 minutes and I'll be back. Alrighty guys, second attempt here on the 60 kilos. The weight feels heavy. Some interesting comparisons. You may have recalled the 1 rep max session I did with Jordan Davis not long ago, where we started in a cup position. Starting in a cup position, dragging was, we went up to 75 kilos. It was all the plates I had at the time, and it was still pretty comfortable. So just know the difference between starting cupped and starting strict. You can see I'm failing here at 60 kilos, which is a big difference. Anyway, starting strict once again. See what we can get. I'm like budging it off the ground, but cannot bend my wrist. I'm gonna have one more go at this, guys, and I'm gonna call it. Alrighty guys, last attempt of the day at this 60 kilos. Very difficult to bend that wrist, just won't go. But this is one of those things, like, this is one of those things where you can cheat, but you shouldn't. I've always had the history of cheating on lifts, and I'm finally ironing that out, and it's making a big difference, I think, already. So anyway, last attempt here, 60 kilos, the thumb is over. We know that 50 kilos was where my wrist stopped bending when it was thumb under. Thumb over, 60 seems to be it. Come on wrist, bend. Nope. It ain't bending. Anyway, I'm still happy with that. I actually, again, this is a new style of 1 rep max for me, so I didn't know where I was going to get to with all this setup. But happy days, feeling strong, and yeah. Alrighty guys, that is the session done there. A wrist flexion 1 rep max session. These are great things to do. in between your arm stuff. Like I have done a lot of arm 1 rep maxes this week, and my elbow honestly is just too sore to be doing any big work. Doing a lot of volume. All the stuff that Todd Hutchins gives me is a lot of volume. You guys don't see it because it's not very exciting, so I don't really video it, but I'm doing a lot of bobbly weight bicep curls, a lot of bobbly weight tricep curls. I'm now doing push-ups as well, just all in the spirit of shoulder health, elbow health. It's really what keeps you going and makes it possible to do all these 1 rep maxes. The wrist flexion 1 rep max today, like I alluded to a few times, guys, it is easy to cheat your numbers on this one. Cheating your numbers is great if you're focusing on finishing power. This style of 1 rep max is all focusing on your ability to initiate a match. And to be strong. And as we know, if you initiate a match better than your opponent, chances are you are going to be the one in control and dictating terms of where the fight goes, and it drastically increases your chances of winning. So initiation power was what I was lacking at the Zloty. I had already had sufficient finishing power if I was able to get into the position, but I could never get into the position because my initiations weren't good. Now when we talk about numbers, honestly, 65 kilos is what my gut feel is for the numbers that matter most. I feel at the 65 kilo zone, if you can get your wrist flexion from a strict start at 65, if you can get your pronation from a strict start at 65, if you can get your wrist rise able to handle 65, I feel like that's like the line where you become legitimately elite across the board. 65 for me is my gut feel. I've got side pressure finishing power at 65. I've got down pressure finishing power at 65. My back pressure is only at 57, so I need to get that up. My wrist flexion's only at, what did I do? I did 55 today and then I failed on 60. So we've got some numbers to chase, and isolation's great for chasing them. And once we get there, I have a feeling we're gonna be there. And when I say there, I'm talking people like Rob Vigent, watch out, because they're gonna take that hammer off your brother. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are here on YouTube and subscribing and liking and all that sort of stuff, helping this business to keep on rolling during this coronavirus craziness, the zombie apocalypse, whatever you wanna call it. Anyway, guys, love you all, and I'll see you again soon.
Yes, that's a man!